Today, I want to discuss about how to use a free Zoom account to do unlimited one-on-one meetings, and you can also have up to 100 participants. So I've been using Zoom for coaching, one-on-one coaching, and also to discuss with friends, especially with the safe distancing that we need to do at this time. But I really wanted to talk about some of the benefits of using Zoom, and also some of the different plans, but particularly we'll be talking about the free plan that you can use with Zoom. And we're going to be looking at some of the features, and also going to be looking at the pros and cons of using Zoom, how to create a meeting, host a meeting, and join a meeting. So we're kind of going through like a Zoom tutorial or Zoom basics of creating an account or getting on a Zoom meeting. And towards the end, I'm going to talk a little bit about a news item, Zoom bombing, which talks about the people hacking into Zoom conferences. So my name is Herman Drost, and my channel is all about how to grow your audience on YouTube so you can generate traffic, leads, and sales on autopilot. And I think the Zoom software is great because it's so easy to use, it's fast, and even with a free account, you can do a lot of things. So to welcome everybody here, we've got Gunda Gamer, Brick Advice, and we've got Dragus. And so I think with a question I have for all of you is, have any of you used Zoom, and what do you think about it? What are the features you like, or what are some of the things that you don't like about it? So if you've used Zoom before, let me know in the chat, or if you're watching a replay, then put that in the comments. But I just want to kind of go into some of the main features. So I'm going to switch to my slides here. And so we're going to be talking about how to use a Zoom free account for video conferencing, online teaching, and coaching. And then these are some of the benefits and features. So it is free. It's very easy to use. All you need, if you're the host, all you have to do is just send a link, and then send a link, and the participant can be on the call or participate in the video conference or audio conference from their computer, their phone, their tablet, etc. And they don't even need a Zoom account. So the great benefit, you can host up to 100 participants with a free account. And if it's one-on-one meeting, then you have no time limit. But as we'll see later, if you have two or more that you're meeting with, then the limit's going to be 40 minutes. So three or more participants. And the participants, they don't need a Zoom account. They can, once they get the link, they can just join from the Chrome browser. And Zoom has come out with a new service that they're offering free for teachers, because my daughter's a teacher. So they get a free basic account if they're teaching K through 12. So my daughter lives in Oklahoma, and she's a second grade teacher, and she's been teaching online or checking. She has like 22 kids in a class, and she's able to converse with them. They all, set up their Zoom accounts or connected with her through the Zoom account, being set up by the parents, and so she can still interact with them and make sure they're doing their homework and doing their lessons, etc. So So she gets a free account for educators. So Zoom is kind of waiving the fee for educators to use it for classes and meetings, etc. So it's very fast. You can just share the link. You can view the participants online. You can also share your screen, and then it automatically records the meeting. So after you've finished the meeting, then the recording is automatically stored in a Zoom folder, so you can take that recording, that .mp4 file, and you could upload it. If you're doing an interview or a coaching session, if you wanted to make it public, you could upload it to YouTube. You can use a virtual background, which I'll show you later. You can also sync the meetings with Google Calendar. You can also schedule a meeting, so you wouldn't have to necessarily, you could do it for today, or you could schedule it for tomorrow or next week. And then you also got whiteboard drawings. So this is great for teachers. Though my daughter said she doesn't use it yet, but I'll show you that later. And if you upgrade to a paid subscription, then you don't have to store the file on your computer, but you get a cloud recording, so it's stored in the cloud. So those are some of the benefits and features. And just to show you what it's like, here's with one of my daughters. We're doing a Zoom call together. She was upstairs, I was downstairs. But this is the gallery view where it's side by side. And so that's a one-on-one meeting. And then you can also switch to the speaker view where, I'm the host and I appear at the top of the window, and then she appears in a full window below that. So that's pretty cool. I like that gallery view the best because it shows the speaker side by side. And if you're doing this with a paid version, then of course you'd have multiple. I think you'd have like a film strip at the top that's showing all the different people that are on the call. What are the requirements for a Zoom account? So you just create a free Zoom account. I'll show you how to do this later. And then, or you could just create one online, or you could download the Zoom app to your computer or your phone. The participants don't need an account. They just send the Zoom link to them. They can watch from their phone, watch from their computer, watch from their tablet. And then the people that are using I tested this out, but when they're watching on their phone, they have to download the Zoom app. You also need some good lighting, so you can just use a daylight from your window or a ring light, and use the built-in webcam that's on your computer, or you can have a Logitech webcam, which is like $50. Or you could use a virtual cam, which I use for Zoom. That's through the Ecamm Live. They have a virtual cam, which means you can use your actual camera instead of a webcam. You might also use an external mic. So I'm using a Blue Snowball today, but you could just use your earbuds, if you have an iPhone. And I would say also, if you're doing a coaching call or a meeting, then you want to have clean background, tidy up your background or have a good backdrop so people can, often people look at the backdrop. So like today, I've just got my wall hanging, which is like a rustic wood, and then some plants. These are real plants. But, you could have a simple backdrop. It could be a bookcase. It could be a computer. You could be in your kitchen or whatever. But, have a clean background as well. So those are just some of the requirements, you don't really need much. And I think the beauty of Zoom is that it's so easy to use because, if you're the host, you just set up a meeting and you just then send the link. So that's some of the benefits and the requirements. So what are the different plans? So mostly I'm talking about the free plan today, but I thought I'd just make you aware of the other plans that are out there. But the free plan, you can host up to 100 participants, hold unlimited one-to-one meetings. If it's group meetings, so I'm not really going to talk about the advanced plans because I'm not so familiar with the advanced plans. So I know that Ash Silver says compare Zoom to Google Suite. I'm not familiar with the Google Suite, so I can't really talk about that. And so you do get video conferencing features and you can do collaborations, whereas the paid, the pro version, you get all the basic features that includes 100 participants, and you can, your meeting can be longer than 40 minutes if you have more than 3 people. And then you also have custom personal meeting ID. You also get cloud recording, so you can store it in the cloud. And then business and enterprise, business, you can have 300 participants, phone support, special vanity URL, etc. So I'm not going to go deeply into those. We're just focusing on the free account here, but I think some of the advanced features that you might be thinking about, maybe not in the free account. So let's talk about how to host a meeting. So all you have to do is 2 ways to do it, and then you can just go to zoom.us and you can sign up for a free Zoom account. So here it is. You just go to zoom.us and then click on the sign up. It's free. And then the easiest way to sign up is, if you have a Google account, you can just sign up with Google and then immediately you'll be signed in. So once you're signed in, then you can just host a meeting from your browser where you can choose to have the video off or on, or just screen share only. You can schedule a new meeting, etc. And then when you create a meeting, once you click on that, then it just says open zoom.us, or you can download the app, run the Zoom app. I usually just download the app to my computer. It's actually easier than going from the browser. But this is how it looks when you've downloaded the app. It's so much easier because you have the icons right there in front of you, and even has the date and the day that you're scheduling the meeting. So you can just click on the icon to start a new meeting. You click on the icon to join a meeting, and you can schedule a meeting or share the screen. So it's so much easier with the Zoom app. So all you have to do is just download the app and then install it on your computer. Then from there, you just invite the participants. So once you've opened the meeting, then you can start. This is a meeting where I'm hosting the meeting, and then you just click on the invite participants, manage participants down the bottom, and you click on the invite, and then you can just invite participants. And the way that you can do it is that you can invite participants by email. So here's the email. You just choose your email service, You can use a default email. I use Gmail, so just click on Gmail, or you can use Yahoo Mail. And the other options are that you can just copy the URL of your meeting and give it to the people that are going to participate in your meeting, or you can just copy the invitation. So, and also you get a meeting password. So I'll show you that here. So here's the email invite. When you copy the invitation, so here is, down the bottom here, you got copy URL, copy invitation. So you just click on copy invitation, and then it automatically creates the invitation that you can put into your email. So join the Zoom meeting, gives you the URL, meeting ID, and the password. I think in advanced settings you can probably do away with the password, but in this case, I would just send them the link, and they can just click on the link in their email. So here they can join a meeting from the Zoom link. So no account required for participants. So all you have to do, like shown here, you put the link that from the invite into your browser, and then you just click on openzoom.us, or they can download the app. So like if they're watching from their phone, they could just download the app to their phone. So pretty easy. If you join a meeting as a participant from the Zoom app, assuming they have downloaded the app to their phone or the computer, then you just click on join. So open up the app, and then you just click on the join app that you see there. And then once they've clicked on that, then it'll ask them to put the meeting ID or the personal link name. So when I showed you previously, when they get that email invite, they get the link, so they could put the link in there, and then I am the host, or they can put the meeting ID. So when they get the email invite, they get a meeting ID, or they get the link. So either way works. And then they can check, if don't connect to the audio or turn off my video. So if you go into settings as a host, you can select, if you want to mute everybody, or if you want to have everybody see the video. But I would strongly suggest that just to mute everybody, because as they come on, I think you get it like a bell or a sound as people come on, so it'd be kind of distracting. So you can also schedule a meeting. This is pretty handy. So you could schedule a meeting for tomorrow or the next week or whatever. So you could have the topic of your Zoom meeting. Then you could check the dates. Select the dates. You could select if it's a recurring meeting. And then if they require a password, so like I showed in the email invitation, if a password required, so you could uncheck that if you don't want to have a password. And then here you can select also if the for the video, so the video can be on or off, so immediately they'll see you. And in the participants, I recommend turning that off so it's not distracting. And then with the audio, people can participate via telephone, computer audio, or telephone and computer audio. So I would select computer and telephone and computer audio. And then you can also select the calendar. And then you have some advanced options here down the bottom. So, which you can check enable join before the host. So say for instance, you're in a special, you can also enable a room where you gather. So be like a waiting room. And so you can actually join the waiting room before the host arrives, and then you can mute the participants on entry, and also you can record the meeting automatically on your local computer, which I highly recommend, so that you don't forget. If you want a recording of your interview or the meeting, then automatically it gets recorded. And here's how to manage a meeting. So you've got all these different variables here that you see down the bottom. Let me show you a quick clip of myself and my daughter having a kind of experimental meeting, so you can kind of show you quickly how it is, sort of like on a live video. So bear with me here. Here we go. Hi, Michelle. How you doing?
Hi, good. How are you?
Oh, very good. Yeah, I'm just doing the test here. I'm hosting a meeting with you, and I'm just showing the features on my side versus the features on your side. So what kind of features do you see on your side?
I have mute, stop video, invite, participants, share screen, chat, record, reactions.
Oh, great. Yeah, that's exactly the same that I have. And at the top right here, I got speaker view. So if I click on that, I just see you in the window, and I myself is just in a little film strip at the top. And if I click on gallery view, then I can do the window side by side. So that was my little experiment I did with my daughter, just to see how Zoom works. I've done it with clients before, but I wanted to kind of go through the features. So it's kind of a quick snapshot of how it actually works and how it looks, when you do a meeting. So let's look at some of these, how to manage a meeting. So on this, you can see you can select the microphone. In this case, I'm using Blue Snowball microphone, but you can use your built-in microphone. Or you can use the webcam, and then also you can test your speakers and microphones, etc. And then you can also have the different video settings. So in this one, I'm using the Ecamm Live virtual cam, so I can use my camera. And then you can also use your FaceTime built-in camera. And you can also use a virtual background, which I'll show you later. Oh, that's right. Yeah, she's lucky connecting with her dad. Yeah, it's true. So we got managing the video, and then here you've got the virtual background. So when I tried this, I think they had these different options. You got San Francisco, you got some grass there, and then you got the space. So I think I like the space the best. But if you don't have a green screen, then sometimes it kind of chops a little bit of your head. It's not quite clear. So, but if you have a green screen, you could use an image. You could just take an image like a forest or an ocean, and then put it against your green screen and have that as your background. So you can kind of experiment with that, but that's if you have kind of an untidy background, didn't have time to clear it up, then you could use one of these virtual backgrounds. So that's kind of handy. You can also share the screen. So So here, I think, yeah, so down the bottom here, it's got share screen, that green icon down there. So if you click on that, you'll be able to share your screen. This is everything on your computer screen, so you have to be kind of careful. Maybe it's something that you don't want people to see. So you might want to make sure your screen is clear. But here I've got my desktop. I've got iPhone AirPlay, my Google Chrome browser was open, so I got a lot of windows open there. But it kind of shows. But here, one thing that is great is the whiteboard. So you can use the whiteboard during your meeting. So here's an example of the whiteboard. We click on whiteboard, then you can, you got different colors. You can start drawing. You got text, spotlight. You can erase the drawing. You got the format. You can undo it, redo it. So it's kind of a very basic editor. But if you quickly wanted to show something to one of the participants, or show it to your guest or to your coaching client, then you could use this whiteboard to quickly illustrate what you're trying to get across. So I think that's pretty handy, and it's great for if you're teaching K through 12, then you can quickly show the kids what's something you want to convey. Okay, let's look at some of the uses. So some of the uses of virtual meetings. So you can meet online, you can do video conferencing, you can do coaching, you could offer online classes, you could do the audio conferencing, and of course nowadays with the coronavirus, a lot of people doing the telehealth. So you can even, I don't know if your health provider use it, but they might use Zoom to kind of talk to your doctor about the symptoms that you might have, and quickly share, talk to them about, get some advice from them. You can also do events. So a lot of churches doing this at this time. They set up a Zoom event where they have, probably, might have thousands in the congregation, and then you deliver the sermon. So I heard last week, I think was Joe Austin, had 4.5 million people that he was given a sermon to online, and he was just standing there by himself giving the sermon, and he could host a live event. I don't know if he was doing it on Zoom, but I guess if you upgrade to one of the larger plans, then you could hold event for hundreds or even thousands of people. You also got the live chat feature. I didn't show you that, but the live chat feature, it appears on the right side of the, I think it's that side, it appears on the right side of the window, and so you can chat with people just like I have here on this live stream, and you can put the video URL on there if you're referring to a video URL. The only downside is that when you're recording the call, it doesn't record the chat window. It just records the window that you see in front of you. So so that's a good thing. Uni's saying, does Zoom have free no adverts? So as far as I know, I haven't seen any adverts, so that's a good thing. I don't show adverts on the free account. So you can do live chat, interviews, you can share your slides. So if you're doing a slide presentation, you can share your slides. And once you're done with the recording, because it's automatically recorded, if you've checked that in the settings, then you can upload that recording to YouTube. And because YouTube doesn't offer that interview style conferencing, but you could do you could use like Skype and Ecamm Live, which is a great thing that you could do. So you can upload the recording to YouTube and then optimize that video and rank it in the search engine. So that's a good thing you can do. Some of the pros and cons. Mostly pros. So it's fast and free. You just need to send the, if you're hosting the meeting, you just need to send the link, and you just get a free account. So you can use a free account for your video conferencing, for your remote teaching, for your online learning. Unlimited time for one-on-one meetings. So if you have a friend you want to, that's living across in a different country, you can do one-on-one meetings with them. That's unlimited time for those meetings. But if you have two or more participants, then then you're gonna reduce to like 40 minutes. But you can host with a free account. You can host up to 100 participants, and only one person, the host, has to download the Zoom, to be the host. And you can join the meeting for free from any device, and no Zoom account is required. Just click on the link, share your screen, and record the meeting. Where the cons, if you have 3 or more people, then you have to upgrade to a paid account. So just to keep that in mind. And also there's a 40-minute limit on a free account if you have 3 or more people that are participating. And if you're watching from an iPhone or Android device, then you've got to download the app. And the other con is that you're unable to record the chat box. And unlike Ecamm Live, you can't share, if somebody puts a comment in the chat box, you can't share the comment actually on the screen. And then also you got these, you do have black bars top and bottom, so that's not ideal. And then sometimes people have complained that there's a echo that they get, so especially if the speaker sound plays back through the mic. So you're going to kind of be careful when you unmute people that the sound from their speaker doesn't interfere with the sound coming from your computer or your mic. So those are kind of some of the cons, but I think Zoom is definitely one of the most used software out there. I want to talk a little bit about the this was in the news. I think I picked this up from I forget which news outlet it was from, but they talked about Zoom bombing. FBI warns some teleconferences and online classrooms that they're vulnerable to hackers. So apparently, when you're on, like if you just have a number of participants that are participating in your call or in your meeting, somebody could kind of jump in on the meeting and swear or bother the people that are in your room. So to guard against that, they have some directives to kind of precaution and take some security precautions. So this is what they say: when using Zoom for online classrooms, teachers are advised to make the meetings private and require a password. So when I showed you that email invite, it showed you the link and also a password. So you could actually require a password to be used so that nobody's going to jump in on the call without a password. You could also use a waiting room. So when I showed you those, when you schedule a meeting, you can schedule a waiting room so people could come into the waiting room even before you arrive as a host. So this would control the admission of additional people. And then links to a teleconference or classroom should be sent directly to the individual participants and never be publicly available like on a social media post. So if you put it out on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, then you're going to open yourself up to individuals that may try to bomb your Zoom meeting. So Zoom is advising that to send a link directly. So probably email would be the best to all the participants. And then if you're managing a conference in Zoom, you should change the screen sharing option to host only. So you don't want everybody sharing sharing the screen. So when I talk to my daughter, this is my other daughter. I have two daughters. She's a second grade teacher, and she was saying that she had about 20 kids in the meeting or in the classroom, and then when she creates a room, she'll have everybody waiting, and then she's the only one that is unmuted for the microphone and the video, and then she can unmute each kid individually. So they would, if they all were unmuted, then be kind of chaos. And of course, kids are going to be fidgety and maybe don't know what to do. But this is a way that would be a precaution against Zoom bombing or somebody hacking into your Zoom meeting. So the best is probably when you do the screen sharing, to only enable it for yourself or somebody else's screen sharing. Turn off your screen sharing and enable screen sharing, or tell them, if you're doing coaching, like I had a call, when was that? Probably about a week or so ago. So I was sharing my screen, and then the person I was coaching wanted to share the screen from their computer, so I turned off my screen sharing, and then they could share their screen, so only one person was sharing the screen. So that's a way that you would safeguard against hackers hacking into your Zoom meeting. So I think that's a great precaution. I talked about pros and cons, and also want to talk about alternatives, because maybe not everybody wants to use Zoom. But you do have the old phone that, if you have an iPhone, you can use FaceTime. And I haven't figured out how to do it yet, but you can actually have multiple people on FaceTime with all the little different windows in there. So that's a free option also. And then there's Skype, which is free. And I'm not sure how many people. I think it's just one-on-one. But if you have the Skype call recorder, you can have up to 5 people. And I have Ecamm Live, which I'm using today, and I can bring people into my live stream. If maybe I'll do this one day, I'll get like 5 people that are waiting in the background on a Skype call, and then when I'm on Ecamm Live, doing live streaming, then I can bring one or each of those or all of those people onto the live stream, and you can have a discussion. So maybe I'll do that one day, but you can have up to 5 guests, and I heard you can even have more than that. So I'll probably maybe try that. But that's the alternatives. You have the FaceTime on your iPhone. You have Skype, which maybe I'll do a video or live stream on that one day, just to compare Zoom with Skype. And then you have Ecamm Live. If you're doing live streaming, then it's live streaming with Ecamm is so great, because you can bring in a video, you can bring in the comments, you can bring in sounds, audio, etc., and bring in guests from Skype. Somebody mentioned about the Google Suite, which I haven't tried, so I don't know how good that is. There's also GoToMeeting, which is another paid service, and I think WebEx is another service as well. So there's quite a few out there, but at this stage, Zoom is the most popular, and I've done a few Zoom coaching calls, and it's been pretty easy. Sometimes the person at the other end has never tried Zoom, so you got to kind of walk them through it. So maybe if you're thinking about doing a Zoom call and you never tried it, you could send this video to your participant so they know what to do. Probably create a shorter version of this video, maybe sometime next week, so you could send them that. But I think the beauty of Zoom is that you got this video you can share video, which is great. You can have virtual meetings. You can have free virtual meetings. You can also do online learning. So, you could have somebody coaching you or teaching you, and then you could learn through them sharing their screen or audio, whatever. And then you can just have, just like Skype, you could have your meeting one-on-one with a free account that is unlimited amount of meetings you can do and unlimited amount of time. So you can talk for 5 hours. I haven't tried that, but you can talk for a long time. And just keep in mind there's a limitation if you have 3 people coming into the meeting. So those are some of the limitations and some of the alternatives.